welcome back. Just to continue from where Mr. Gajendran left off, there was this whole question of what the limit should be. Now, if it is 138,000 per day for you to be brought into the VAT net, that means you will have to pay, the moment you come into the VAT net, you have to pay about 20,000 rupees a day. I mean, that is, you can of course make the necessary deductions, the input, not the whole 20,000, because
so
you will be the input.
38,000, if your margin is 10%, you pay 10% on the margin.
That's right. You can deduct what you paid earlier as.
Even if you don't pay earlier, there is a deem input tax,
that's
as
right.
if you have paid.
That's
so
right.
invariably, if you buy the goods at 10 and sell at 12,
Yeah, that's right.
only on the 2 rupees you pay 15%.
That's right. But the question is that this person who makes 138,000 a day will have to pay something which a person making 130,000 a day will not have to pay.
Yeah.
Now, you would have noticed at that seminar that we attended, where a person, Mr. Vitanake, where a person who was making 100 million per quarter had to pay the VAT. That is the last year. But what he said was the shop next to mine was making just slightly below that. And here I had to pay the tax, he doesn't pay the tax. So then where is the justice? ඒකට මොකක්ද තියෙන උත්තරේ මිස්ටර් විතානගේ?
ඔව් ප්‍රායෝගික බැලුවා.
ඒකට මොකක්ද තියෙන උත්තරේ?
ප්‍රායෝගික බැලුවාම එහෙම ගැටලුවක් අපිට පහුගිය වකවාඩු විද්‍යාව මොකද 27 දෙනයි එහෙම බලනකොට
ඒ 100 මිලියන් වලට තියෙනවා.
වෙනකොට ගෙවලා තිබුණේ. ඉතින් එතකොට දැන් මේක රටේ ව්‍යාපාරිකව අපි හැම පැත්තෙම කතා කරනවා ආයෝජන මේව කරලා වැඩි කරන්න කියන එක. ඉතින් එතකොට අපි අනිත් පැත්තෙන් දැන් අපි අහන්නේ දැන් අර පහුගිය වැට් එකේ රැල්ලට කතා කරපු ව්‍යාපාරිකයෙකුට දැන් කෝ දැන් ඒ පිටිස යම් කිසි ආකාරයකට මර්ධනයක් කරා. ඒක වෙනම. නමුත් ඊට පස්සේ මේ සම්බන්ධව උන් අදහස් දක්වන එක දුරස් වෙලා තියෙනවා. එතකොට මට අපිට තේරෙන්නේ ව්‍යාපාරිකයන් හැටියට උන්ට
138 නැග්ගුවාම හුඟ දෙනෙක් ඒකට අහු වෙන්නේ.
අන්න ඒ කුලකින් ගැලවුණා.
What will be the number?
Yeah.
27 to what number now?
ඊට පසු ආවේ.
Oh, no, what he said was that when it was 100 million, it was 27.
Yeah, now
That,
this rate,
ඒතර
what
දැන්
will
මේ
be the estimate?
38,000 වුණාම කී දෙනෙක් අහු වෙනවද?
ඒක නම් මම හරියට ගාන මම
They have not
සතුටු නැහැ.
There will be no people coming in.
Yeah, definitely. Far more.
දැන් අර
That's the
පාරවල්
resistance. That is the resistance.
That's right.
දැන් අර පාරවල් වල බහැලා කඩ වහලා අර ඒ වර්ධන ටික කරපු අයගෙන් රජය අර මට්ටම එහාට ගෙනාවට පස්සේ ටිකක් එදින් අයින් කරා.
Yeah, what he's saying is that the people at a level below 138,000 have basically dropped out of the agitation, the anti-VAT agitation. So now it's going on.
දැන් අර ශක්තිමත් ප්‍රමාණයක් තමයි අතන ඉන්නේ. හැබැයි අපි දකින්න විදිහට යාලන මොකක් හරි වාසියක් වෙලා තියෙනවා මෙතනට එන්නේ නැති වෙන්න. හැබැයි පාරිභෝගික විදිහට අපි ශ්‍රේෂ්ඨ ගානකින් අපි කොහොමද කතා කරන්නේ කියලා. ඉතින් එතකොට අපි කොහොම කරත් අවසානයේදී මේක වක්‍රබද්දක් නිසා පාරිභෝගිකය ගෙවන නිසා හැම පැත්තෙම තල්ලු වෙලා ඉන්නේ අපිට. ඉතින් එතකොට දැන් ඔය කියන 27 දෙනාගේ ගාන තමයි වැඩි වෙලා තියෙනවා. හැබැයි අර 33000 කියන අයගෙන් අඩු වෙලා තියෙනවා. ඉතින් එතකොට ඒ නිසා තමයි ඇත්තටම බැලුවොත් ඒක ඔබතුමෝ කිව්වා වගේ ඒක කිසිම සාධාරණත්වයක් පාරිභෝගිකයට නැහැ. හැම කොයි පැත්තෙන් ආවත් ඇත්තටම තමන් අඳින ඇඳුමට මේ වැට් එකක් ගහනවා ඒක සාධාරණයක් නැහැ නේ කොහොමද? එකක පැත්තකින් මේක වැට් එක අය කිරීමේ අතුල අසාධාරණයක් තියෙනවා. ඒකාව ඒක ප්‍රායෝගික ක්‍රියාත්මක වීම තුලත් අසාධාරණකට මුහුණ දෙන්න ලැබෙන පාරිභෝගික හැටියට. දැන් අපි ඇත්තම කතා කරොත් දැන් ඔය දුරකථන බද්ද දැන් 49.73කට එනවා. මේක එනකොට 2010 අයවැයේදී එතකොට මුදල් ඇමතිවරයාට ජනාධිපතිතුමා එතුමා යෝජනා කරනවා the telecommunication industry is the backbone of modern economic. The tax applicable to this sector is complex. Therefore, I propose to combine all such taxes and impose the telecommunication levy of 20%. එතකොට එයා මේ ටෙලිකොමියුනිකේෂන් levy කියන එක හැදුනේ දැන් 25ක් කියන එක හැදුනේ මේ කියන වැට් එකත් එක්ක. මේ NBT එකත් එක්ක. එතකොට දැන් මේ පසුගිය කැබිනට් මණ්ඩලය ඒකට ආයෙ වැට් එකක් එකතු කරනවා. ඉතින් එතකොට දැන් මෙන්න මේ ඇනුවල් රිපෝට් එකේ තියෙනවා 2011 සෙන්ට්‍රල් බැංක් එකේ. ඉතින් එතකොට ඒකත් මේක තියෙනවා මේක රිප්ලේස් එකක් කියලා. දැන් ඔවුනුත් කියනවා මේක රිප්ලේස් කරලා තියෙන්නේ කියලා. වැට් එකයි NBT එකයි. ඉතින් එතකොට මෙන්න මේ කියන කාරණා දෙකත් එක්ක එතකොට අපි 25 ඇතුලේ තියෙන වැට් එක. NBT එකක් තියෙනවා. එතකොට අපි ආයෙ වැට් එකක් එකට දානවා. එතකොට 49.7ක් වෙනවා. ඉතින් එතකොට ඒක සාධාරණද? මේ රටේ පාරිභෝගිකයන්ට?
Yeah, what he's saying is that in 2010, it was all lumped together, the VAT, the existing VAT and all that was lumped together, and it was called a telecom levy. And that was what we were paying. But now they have imposed another VAT, which now is a VAT upon VAT.
Now,
How
the
does-
world, very good question. The world has changed. Earlier we paid 10 rupees for a telephone call and 1 rupee for a vade.
Yeah.
Now we pay 10 rupees for a vade and 1 rupee for a telephone call. Now I think 25, 30 years ago, I couldn't get a landline to get. This technology has transformed telecommunication industry. It has made affordable. Now the number of mobile phones is more than the population in this country. Right? So it is freely accessible to anyone. And he was also saying the father, mother, grandmother, children, all are having mobile phones.
Yes.
So the reasoning that may be because 20% and this thing, you know, sometimes there are too much of excessive talking. It is there. You pay some tax also because they have to collect revenue. No. So now the cost has come down phenomenally. Earlier, if you see the telephone bill call, and most of the incoming calls are free. It in the same net, 1 rupee, 2 rupees. You know, that is what it is. You know, those days it was the world has changed. Technology has brought some of these costs down. And when it brings cost down, it is affordable. Then if it is affordable, there will be a tendency to. There is no equity in taxation. No. There is no equity in taxation. There is no just or fairness in taxation. You cannot justify taxation. Why do you justify is because of the social needs and aspiration. Because of you need the administration.
Plainly said, that is what it is.
That is what it is. So you have to, that the bottom line is you must collect from the people who can afford to pay and look after the others who cannot pay. In the meantime, some people who cannot afford to pay also get hurt in the process. But telecommunication is a bad example here. It is an essential thing, but no, those days my parents, when I was small, if I go to school till I come back, they don't know what's happening. Now every turn you are following with the call and where you know it is there.
Right.
You know, so it is you are having an extra privilege, facility at a cheaper cost. So I mean, this is another cost.
Yeah, I suppose.
ඒක
Yeah, Mr. Alfonso, now it's like this.
Can I make
yes,
a
sure,
projection
certainly.
here? I think, you know, I have a different take on the whole thing. First of all, why government is there in the first place? To create economic growth, create jobs, improve people's living standards, make sure that, you know, the income distribution is fair. You know, if you do something contrary to that, then that's something that one has to pay attention to. Now, taxes are an essential thing for a government to undertake certain jobs, but tax is not an open check for governments to do whatever they want and come back and say, look, we need this cash. Now, you
But
mentioned
governments would tend to tax the items which will be purchased regardless of the cost. If you are desperate enough for that service, you will pay anything and get that. So, I mean, don't governments sort of target that?
Government, basically, let's go back to where it started. The 80% is indirect taxes, 20% is direct taxes. And we said that's bad.
That's bad.
That was our position. Now, what have we tried? Then we said we bring it back to this. But we never committed to that. Because there is a serious issue in this. It affects income distribution in this country. It affects economic growth in this country. Now, the more you bring VAT, now you were talking about, in the course of the discussion, you see, now when you have so many people in between, and if you can have a sort of, bring it down, so that, you know, just 2 or 3 people, then the impact of VAT will be felt less.
Yeah.
That's not the way to go about. An expanding economy always have different people plugging in at different points of the whole processing, and that creates opportunities for people. That brings costs down. You know, that's the way economies go. It's not to have, say, just 2 or 3 people will be in the chain, so that is beneficial. No, that doesn't work that way. The more the economies get complex, you find more people getting into the business, doing little things. And if you don't give that opportunity, where do that people go? Where do you find the, now look at 3-wheelers. How many 3-wheelers we have? So I think somewhere 1.3 million, right? Yeah. Now, those people are part of that process as well. Imagine if you had not created that space, where would those people go? Who's going to provide employment to them? Right? See, I think we got to look at the whole.
What you are saying is that each person down the line has to be given the respect that he deserves.
No. It's not the respect. It is the way, it is the efficiency of the economy. And more the economy gets efficient, more we produce. And more economic growth, more money transfers to people. Then you're talking about informal economy. I mean, eventually we will.
Yeah, there was one thing that I wanted to ask you specifically.
Yep.
Now, isn't there something wrong with our tax structure itself as an economist? Now, 25 years ago, when the Ceylon Chamber of Commerce used to send their annual proposals for the budget, the main demand they made was try to reduce the corporate income tax to 35%. Now it is way below that.
28%.
So, do you feel that we have stopped, charging these direct taxes, and we have gone more and more into indirect taxes needlessly? I mean, even now they wanted something below 35%. But where are we now? We are somewhere near the 17%, 15%?
Now, yeah, but it was proposed to 17%,
Yeah.
but it might not go back down to 70, it has to remain, they may remain at 28%.
At 28%. Yeah, so have we been sort of needlessly moving away from direct taxes? I mean, what is the optimum level of direct taxes? Say a corporate income tax rate. What would be the, I mean, times have changed. No, this is not NM Pereira's era when there was 70% corporate income tax. So times have changed all over the world. But then have we gone too far down that road?
I think not we have gone too far. We have been short-sighted and not understanding what we are doing and the consequences of it. Basically, even bringing down the taxes drastically, partly in order to encourage more people to pay taxes. That was, and also to make the Sri Lankan destination attractive for investments, so that more investors will come along and all that. But the point is that how many people who are earning way above the tax threshold are not paying taxes?
Just the informal sector I am talking about.
Not the informal sector, even the formal sector. But then what happens is, even in the large corporations, they have tax experts. They will basically work things out, so that I mean there are very interesting cases that happen in the US. How much Donald Trump has been paying taxes, and even in such a sophisticated society, when you have the experts around you, you know how to get around that. And an ordinary man, a poor, small businessman, can he do that? He can't do it. He probably be paying the tax. If he does commit to the taxes, and if he gets caught, he pays the exact taxes, at least, a substantial portion of taxes that he is supposed to be paying.
Maybe pay more than what he has to pay.
Yeah, that's right. So I think we got to understand the societal makeup we have as well, the level at which people have the access to resources and experts and all that. So in that respect, I think genuinely the people who are down the line are paying more taxes and more sincerely paying taxes than the people who are up on the scale. Let's be very frank about it. This is the issue. We have a much serious problem. And then who is representing the government? And which community government represents actually? This is another issue. They want people at the bottom level when it comes to elections. But they have partnerships with people who are at the top level. So policies are worked out in order to facilitate and to give advantages to certain segments who are working with you, who are running the show with you. Now, this kind of lack of transparency in this country has made the whole tax system a mockery.
We'll be taking a short break now. Stay with us.